So some reflections on the journey. The first thing I would say is watch out for warning signs. You know, the business saw this big wave of inflation coming in. It happens to any business, whether it's an economic circumstance, whether it's an internal difficulty or what have you. You've got to watch out for the warning signs. The first tendency of management and leadership is to think that it's probably not going to ultimately cause any damage to the business. But it ultimately, if it's not addressed very quickly, it can put a business very quickly into a difficult circumstance. So if it's starting to look like it's not quite going the way you want it, the chances are something needs to be done. And usually, for something to be done, it needs to be changed, because change creates a new dynamic in a business. It's very hard to change things if you just stay flat and everything stays the same, and change it by piece. It needs usually to be fundamentally looked at. I have a personal belief that as leaders and managers, our job is to manage change. It's not to manage the status quo. We're in a job to make things better, and that's what I think we all enjoy about what we're doing. Collateral damage. If a business gets into difficulty, you've got enough trouble trying to change and move the business, but what then happens is the stakeholders, like the banks and the people who support a business, they get nervous as well, so they start to pull away just at the time you want them. So you then have to find a way of managing the external as well as the internal. And keep an eye on that, I would say, is also really important. Creating a vision, you know, something that people can buy into. We all work in business. We all kind of want to know where we're going. We all want to know there's a path that we're going to be taken down. We want to feel it's a good journey for us all. We want to feel that it's good for the business and good for the people in the business. And I think that's an important part of it all. And therefore, it's like defining a journey. I always call everything a journey. You know, we're just on a journey. You might decide to go off left, you might decide to go off right, but basically, we're on a journey. And you change the direction from time to time, but keep people informed of where you are on the journey. How's it going? Is it going well? Do we need to make some changes? But keep people talking and communicate and communicate and communicate. And how or what? Are you going to change how you run what you run and keep doing what you're doing? Or are you going to change what you do? And you can do both, of course. You can do combinations of both. But one of the reflections for me, when I decided to come along and have a chat this morning, was when I look back on the journey of the last 5 years, without realizing it at the time, I reflected that when we first made changes in the business, we changed how we ran things. And when we subsequently realized that we needed to address further challenges in the market, we started to look at what we do. And therefore, when I thought about a simple little lesson and something that's probably been a learning for me on this particular journey, when I look back, I think we've addressed a how, and I think we're now in the process of addressing what. And as I've said, people are at the heart of change. A great motto, maybe it's overused, is treat people the way you'd want to be treated yourself. In any circumstance, whether you're telling people bad news, good news, whatever else, put yourself in their position and think, if I was hearing what you're going to tell me and being changed, or my life was going to be changed in whatever way you're going to change it, how would I like to be treated? Because it's not often about the change that's the issue. It's about how people are treated in making a change that's the most important thing. And celebrate achievements. I couldn't agree more with this. There is no shortage of ability to say thank you to people and recognize achievement. And look out for great things that people are doing. Do not look for the bad things. Look for the great things. There are always great things that are being done. I guarantee if you start doing that, it'll start to change your business the minute you start doing it. And bring a culture in where everybody wants to do it. You know, everybody supports one another. They're proud of other people's successes, not jealous of them. And they get the same reflection back from other people. And finally, make it challenging. Put big targets, put big goals out there for people. Make it rewarding. Make sure people get rewarded for it when they are successful. And above all, just make it fun. You know, we spend a lot of time at work. It's hard at times, and we all face challenges in our lives. But if you can have a bit of fun while you're doing it, I do think it makes one heck of a difference.